Good morning, everyone. We are here today to present our international marketing report for Carnival Cruise Line Australia, the only year-round cruise operator in this country. So, our report is titled Reclaiming Market Growth Through Blue Ocean Strategy, and today we will be walking you through the key issues Carnival faces and two strategic recommendations we have developed to address them. My name is Suring and I will be covering the market situation and our first recommendation. My partner Tenzin will then take you through our second recommendation and our overall implementation plan. Here's a quick overview of what we will be covering today. I'll start with a brief situation overview, like what's happening in Australian cruise market and what challenges Carnival faces. Then I'll introduce recommendation 1, Fern Ashore. After that, Tenzin will present recommendation 2, the Carnival Family Passport, along with our implementation plan and the combined value of both recommendation. So let's jump in. Carnival holds a unique position in Australia. It is the only year-round cruise line operating here. Following the consolidation of the market in 2025, when P&O Australia was observed and Cunard Cruise Australian home porting, the industry itself is thriving. So Australian cruise tourism now generates Australian dollar 8.4 billion in economic value. The average age of an Australian cruiser has dropped from 54 to just 48.4 years, showing a clear shift towards younger passenger. And first, a brand paradox. It is seen as the budget cruise line, which limits its pricing power and makes it difficult to attract more aspirational travelers. Second, no retention pathway with 30% first timers. There's no structured systems to turn them into loyal or repeat guests. And third, fleet contraction risks. Carnival has announced plans to scale back in its Australian fleet from 2028, since which threatens long-term sustainability if renew performance doesn't justify continued investment. To understand the landscape more deeply, we conducted a full market audit using the PESTEL analysis. On the political side, cabotage reform and indigenous tourism policy both create real opportunities. Economically, with cost of living pressure are squeezing Australians, they are actually making all-inclusive cruising more attractive as a value proposition. Socially, the shift is striking. Half of Australian cruises will be under 35 by 2026. Technologically, Carnival already has the Hub app infrastructure, which becomes central to both our recommendations. From a legal and environmental perspective, regulatory pressures on emission and port access will continue to shape operations. The core finding from this audit is that Carnival has two clear market gaps: the absence of a differentiated destination-based experience product, and the absence of any structured loyalty program designed by Australian families. That's exactly what our two recommendations addresses. Our first recommendation is Fern Ashore, a co-brand destination experience platform. The idea is simple. Right now, Carnival Ashore Excursion, a generic, outsourced and indistinguishable from the Royal Caribbean or Princess offer, we are recommending Carnival Own the Shore experience. Fern Ashore would create a curated, Carnival branded land experience across 6 Australian port cities, which are Sydney, Brisbane, Cranes, Ely Beach in Whitsundays, Hobart, and Melbourne. Partnering with indigenous tourism providers, organizations, and adventure operators. Experiences would range from family friendly options at AUD 80 to 150 per guest, all the way to premium guided tours at AUD 200 till to 400, all bookable through an expanded module on the Carnival Hub app, complete with guest ratings and a satisfaction guarantee. This transforms a commodity product into a true brand differentiator. To evaluate and design Fun Ashore, we applied 3 key Blue Ocean strategy tools. First, the ERRC grid. We are eliminating generic third-party exclusions and undifferentiated port spots. We are reducing booking complexity. We are raising cultural immersions and social shareability. And critically, we are creating something entirely new, an indigenous experience layer and a fully integrated hub app connected platform. No mass market cruise line in Australia has done this. Second, the 3 tiers of non customers. Tier 1, soon to be non customers. These are young Carnival passengers who have already booked a cruise but plan to arrange their own activities ashore because they think Carnival excursions are too expensive or too generic. Fun Ashore directly addresses their concern. Then tier 2, refusing non-customers. These are adventure and cultural travelers who actively avoid cruises because they believe they will miss out an authentic destination experience. Fun Ashore changes that narrative. Then tier 3, unexplored non-customers. So international visitors from Asia, the UK, and the US who never considered a Australian cruise because they feared missing out one genuine local immersion. Fun Ashore positions Carnival as a gateway into Australia's culture, not a replacement for it. We are measuring Fun Ashore success against 4 clear KPIs, that is, shore exclusion, attach rate rising from approximately 28% to 45% within 12 months, a net promoter score above 55 up to the current sub 40 industry benchmark, revenue per guest per day reaching AUD $95, which is 35% above today's average, and a 38 guest rebooking rate within 24 months of passengers first Fun Ashore activity. Implementation follows 4 phases: partner selection and hub app build in Q3 to 2023, a pilot in Sydney and Whitsundays in Q4 2026, full national rollout with indigenous partnerships in the first half of 2027, and then the Pacific expansion and optimization from 2028 onwards. The timing is deliberately aligned with Carnival 2028 fleet review. The data from phase 1 and 2 will form part of the commercial case for sustaining the Australian fleet. I will now hand over to Tenzin, who will take through you with the second recommendation.
Thank you, Tsering. My name is Tenzin, and I'll be presenting our second recommendation, the Carnival Family Passport, a gamified loyalty program designed specifically for Australian families and millennials. Here's the core problem. Carnival existing VIPP loyalty program was built for North American fluent cruises. It rewards cruise nights, which means it overwhelmingly benefits older, wealthier passengers who already cruise often. There is no structured pathway to convert Carnival's 30% first time cruises into repeat guests. The Carnival Family Passport changes that. Instead of accumulating points, passenger collects digital ports, stamps for each Australian and South Pacific destination they visit. There are four progressive membership tiers: the Explorer, Voyager, Navigator, and Captain, each unlocking increasingly valuable rewards: onboard credits, priority embarkation, discounted family cabins, and exclusive Captain's Club events. The entire program is managed through the Carnival Hub app with built-in social sharing features that encourage families to post milestone moments, turning loyal customers into brand advocates. We applied three Blue Ocean strategy tools to develop and validate this recommendation. Starting with the ERRC grid, we're eliminating the purely points-based reward model and the North American program focus. We're reducing administrative complexity and the time it takes for guests to feel rewarded. We're raising family engagement depth and the structural motivation to rebook. And we're creating the first Australian destination passport mechanic in the cruise industry alongside truly gamified milestones. Now, the three tier of non-customers for the family passport. Tier 1, soon to be non-customers, Australian families who've sailed with Carnival once or twice, enjoyed it, but don't have a compelling structural reason to come back to Carnival rather than try a competitor or a land holiday. The passports collection mechanic gives them that reason. Tier 2, refusing non-customers. Family who researched cruising, considered it, but chose a resort or road trip because they perceived the cruise as a one-time experience, not something that builds into something bigger. Seeing a passport fill up over multiple voyages makes cruising progressive, not repetitive. Tier 3, unexplored non-customers. Grandparents, extended family members, or young adults who don't typically book with the family group but can be activated through referral incentives. For example, a free port stamp for an existing member who books the family member's first voyage. Finally, we use the buyer utility map to identify low utilization moments in the customer's journey. Right now, post-cruise engagement is already entirely passive. The occasional VIFP email, the Carnival Family Passport flips this, milestone alerts, tier proximity notification, family album updates, and personal captain's club. Invitations all become uh, regular, meaningful touch points that sustain the relationship between voyages. We're targeting 5 measurable outcomes for the Carnival Family Passport. First, 60% program enrollment among all Australian passengers within 12 months of launch, which is achievable given the sign up will be integrated in the Hub app at embarkment. Second, repeat booking of 52% among enrolled members, up from a baseline of approximately 35 for non-program passengers. Third, enrolled families averaging 2.1 voyages per family unit over 36 months, up from an estimated 1.5 today. Fourth, 50,000 organic social shares per quarter from milestone events, meaning the passport stamp collections moments become shareable content. And fifth, 12-point net promoter score increases for enrolled members versus non-members. The program requires an investment of AUD 2.5 million for development, app integration, and the first 18 months of operation. Implementation runs in 4 phases, from app development in Q3 2026 through a beta launch in Q4 2026, with careful transition planning for existing VIFB members to national launch in early 2027, and then scaling to specific routes from 2028 onwards. Critically, the repeat booking data from this program will form part of Carnival's formal submission to the Australian government regarding the 2028 Fleet Development Review, demonstrating that the Australian market can sustain a loyal, high lifetime value customer base is the strongest possible commercial case for keeping the fleet here. Together, these two recommendations represents a genuine blue ocean strategy for Carnival Australia. Fun Ashore creates new values at the point of destination, differentiating Carnival's shore experience, attracting younger Australians, opening an Indigenous tourism segment, and turning every port visit into social media content. It addresses the brand paradox by adding experimental aspiration without abandoning Carnival's accessible price positioning. The Carnival Family Passport creates new value in the loyalty relationship, converting first timers into repeat guests, building a uniquely Australian brand identity, and generating the kind of sustainable long term passenger revenue that justifies year round fleet deployment. Kim and Malborgny's value innovation principle asks companies to pursue differentiation and low cost simultaneously, not to trade one for the other. Both recommendations do exactly that. Fun Ashore eliminates costly, undifferentiated excursion catalogs and replaces them with high value, margin assertive branded experience. The Family Passport eliminates point administration overhead and replaces it with an emotionally engaging program that compounds retention over time. Combined, we're projecting the potential to add over 30,000 additional passengers annually from improved retention alone, alongside higher revenue yield per voyage, all of which creates the commercial rationale for Carnival to grow its Australian footprint rather than contract it. To summarize our recommendation to Carnival Australia, recommendation 1, Fun Ashore, Own the Shore. Partner with Indigenous and local operators to create curated brand endorsed destination experiences across Australia's major cruise ports. Use the Hub app to deliver, review, and iterate. Target a 45 attach rate and AUD 95 revenue per guest per day by the end of 2027. Recommendation 2, Carnival Family Passport. Own the loyalty relationship. Rejoice the generic VIFP model with the gamified Australian first destination passport that makes cruising feel like a collection, not a transaction. Target 60% enrollment and 52% repeat booking rate within 24 months of launch. Both recommendations are grounded in Blue Ocean strategy supported by market data and timed to feed directly into Carnival's 2028 fleet review. Carnival has a unique structural advantage. It is the only year-round cruise line in Australia. These two recommendations are designed to help Carnival earn the right to stay that way. Thank you very much.